জাহ্নবী তট বনে জগমনোলোভা জাহ্নবী তট বনে জগমনোলোভা দক্ষিণে নিতাই চাঁদ বামে গদাধর কিবা দক্ষিণে নিতাই চাঁদ বামে গদাধর নিকটে অদ্বৈত শ্রীনি বাস ছত্রধর বসিয়াছেন গোরাচাঁদ রত্ন সিংহাসনে কিবা বসি আছেন গোরাচাঁদ রত্ন সিংহাসনে আরতি করেন ব্রহ্ম আদি দেবগণে আরতি করেন ব্রহ্ম আদি দেবগণে নর হরি আদি করি চামর ঢুলায় কিবা নর হরি আদি করি চামর ঢুলায় সঞ্জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু ঘোষ আদি গায় সঞ্জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু ঘোষ আদি গায়, শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে, বাজে করতাল, মধুর মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসাল, শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে, মধুর 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 বাজে, শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে, মধুর 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 বাজে, শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে, মধুর 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 বাজে, গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি শোভা, জগ জন মন লোভা, হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল, বহু কোটি চন্দ্রজিনী বদন উজ্জ্বল, কিবা বহু কোটি চন্দ্রজিনী বদন উজ্জ্বল, গল দেশে বনমালা করে ঝলমল, গল দেশে বনমালা করে ঝলমল, শিব শুক নারদ প্রেমে গদ গদ, শিব শিব শুক নারদ প্রেমে গদ গদ, ভকতি বিনোদ দেখে দেখে গোরার সম্পদ ভকতি বিনোদ দেখে গোরার সম্পদ কিবা জয় জয় গোরা চাঁদে আরতি শোভা জাহ্নবী তট বনে জগমন লোভা জয় গৌরনিতাই 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 জয় গৌরনিতাই জয় শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ জয় শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম রাম হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম রাম Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ জয় নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ জয় নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ জয় গৌর হরি নিতাই গৌরাঙ্গ জয় গৌর হরি জয় সচিনন্দন জয় সচিনন্দন জয় সচিনন্দন গৌর হরি জয় গৌর নিতাই গৌর নিতাই গৌর নিতাই জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় কিশোর কিশোরী জয় কিশোর কিশোরী কিশোর কিশোরী জয় কিশোর কিশোরী জয় জগন্নাথ জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় সীতারাম লক্ষ্মণ ভক্ত হনুমান সীতারাম লক্ষ্মণ ভক্ত হনুমান জয় লক্ষ্মী নরসিংহ জয় ভক্ত প্রহ্লাদ লক্ষ্মী নরসিংহ জয় প্রহ্লাদ মহারাজ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ
Prabhupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtotara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki jai, Shri Mayapur Navdeep Dham ki jai, Purushottam Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, ISKCON Chicago New Seva Kunj Dham ki jai, their most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Kishore Kishori ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki jai, Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Ladadaine. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimo. Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimo. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaya Narsimha. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Avakara Kamalavare Nagamabhuta Shringam Kalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadita Naharirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. On behalf of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, I would like to welcome all of you for our Sunday program. I would like to extend a very warm welcome also to the students who are here visiting us for the first time. Thank you so much for being here with us. We would like to, after the class, we would like to invite you for the dinner, which will be served on the third floor. It will be a vegetarian dinner. So today's speakers are actually two, but it's going to be two in one, it looks like. So we have Nityanand Pran Prabhu, our temple president, and Balram Prabhu. They will be speaking on they will be introducing and talking about a great devotee of the Lord who left his body a few days ago in India. His name is Srinath Jidas. So I was fortunate to read some information about him, and he was simply a very amazing person. So Nityanand Pran Prabhu and Balram Prabhu will be talking about him today. Let's welcome our speakers with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. No, it's from there. Okay, so we make a little passage on the back so that the devotees who are coming on towards the altar, they can come from there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much for joining us tonight. My name is Nityananda Pran Das. I'd like to welcome all of you. Specifically, I'd like to call out Kathy Benton's class from Lake Forest College. Thank you for joining us. So Professor Benton, she brings her class literally every semester for many years now, and I've gotten to know her as a very avid supporter and a friend of the Hare Krishna temple. She teaches world religions, and she brings her class here every semester to give them not only theoretical, but I guess a full-on experience of what it is to be in a Hare Krishna temple. So I hope you have a good time tonight. What happens is my speech actually helps you appreciate the dinner better. So anyway, recently, about a few days ago, our Hare Krishna movement experienced a very significant loss. The loss of a very amazing person by the name Srinath Ji Das, who was an industrialist, a very successful one, a very loving father, husband, family man, and of course a devotee of Krishna. So tonight Balaram Prabhu and I, he's here, Balaram Prabhu and I thought we'll take an opportunity to appreciate such a wonderful soul. Because according to our Vaishnava philosophy, appreciating those who are very dear to Krishna brings or attracts Krishna's attention in a very special way. And to illustrate this, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada would often say, "Love me, love my dog." And he would give this example. If you're walking on the street and some person is walking from the other side with a dog, it is very difficult to just sort of accost someone, say hi, and strike a conversation. But if you stop to appreciate their dog and say, wow, a very beautiful dog, what's his or her name? It doesn't matter who that person is. They'll stop for the moment. They'll actually go out of your way to smile at you, speak to you, tell you all about their dog, and suddenly there's this warm exchange between the two. So similarly, it is described that to attract Krishna's attention is not so easy, because we are some insignificant living entity in this world, and trying to attract God's attention, either you have to be exceptionally so pure that his attention will be attracted, or you have to be such a treacherous, I guess a demon is a word, or treacherous person. Either way, you'll attract the attention. Otherwise, it's by appreciating other devotees, especially persons who have dedicated their life in service to God. It's a rare phenomenon. Another thing that it's worth appreciating is many times we think that when a person is called a yogi or a devotee of God, one of the ideas we have about such a person is that they're somehow a monk, that they have renounced this world. Need the lights on, please. Yeah, thank you. That they're supposed to renounce this world. And being a person with a job, with children, managing money and sort of materialistic affairs don't go hand in hand with spiritual life. That's a common, I guess, misunderstanding. And so Krishna demonstrates to us that within his retinue of devotees, there is a whole range. On one end are the very extremely renounced persons, such that they don't care whether they eat anything or not, they don't care whether they get any sleep or not, whether they are attacked by anyone, crucified, it doesn't matter. They're very, very renounced. And on the other extreme, they're very poor, impoverished, they have no material assets of any kind, they're totally impoverished. And on the other end of the continuum are Krishna's devotees who were in the past kings, emperors, extremely rich persons who were born as princes or princesses, and they have a place too, and anyone in between. So tonight we're going to talk about Srinathji Prabhu, who's on this extreme, financially and materially extremely successful, at the same time highly accomplished as a devotee of Krishna. Now one might ask, how are the two possible? And the two are possible when one has a very clear sense as to who the proprietor of all their assets is. Our philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita and the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy teaches a very special principle called Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya quite literally means renunciation in utility, meaning everything in this world has some utility. And that utility is because it is sourced from the divine, it is sourced from Krishna. So everything is divine and everything has value. And a successful spiritualist is he or she who knows how to take things from this world and use them in service to God without a sense of ownership that this is mine. It's not easy. It has its challenges, because as soon as we hold on to something, suddenly there is this sense of ownership. The Srila Prabhupada would give the example of a teller at a bank. Before I tell you what Prabhupada said about a teller, I'll tell you a joke. In India, there is this common phenomenon of what is called arranged marriage. So usually arranged marriage means someone from the boys or the groom's side, the family and the groom or potential groom will come and meet members of the family of the bride and the potential bride. And they will ask each other, oh, what have you studied? What work do you do? Tell us about your family. And the idea is to find out, how the family is. Are they a stable family? Are there, is the income okay? Are they financially all right? Are there any fighting, issues among the family? This is a matter of getting to know each other. So one such potential groom was asked, what do you do? And he went with a relative, and the relative said, oh, he's a very, very special person. Every day he deals in millions of dollars. Really? Yeah. Every day in his hands he touches millions of dollars. So the bride's side was like, wow, very good person. We should seriously consider this alliance. So on the bride's side, there was a smart aleck who wanted to probe a little further. He said, oh, really? What does he do? And the other side responded, he's a teller at a bank. That they handle a lot of money every day, but none of it belongs to them. So Srila Prabhupada said that a devotee is like that. He's a teller at a bank, he or she. That they have all these assets, money, vehicles, gold, people's adoration, followers. These are all opulences. And they're all engaged, and they're used in service to Krishna without the sense of, this is mine. So it takes a very, very intensely spiritually grounded character to be able to be in the midst of all of this opulence and not be touched by it. It is easier in one sense, I'll argue, I can even argue from the other side, but it is relatively easier in one sense to not have anything and to be renounced. It's easier. But to have everything and still be renounced, that's not easy. And Srinathji was one such person. So to frame tonight's, presentation, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya, for all of you students, up here on our altar, there are two personalities with their arms raised. So to our right is Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya is an incarnation of Krishna who appeared in early 16th century. And his mandate or his purpose was to break the divide that exists among human beings. The divide of nationality, the divide of rich or poor, the divide of educated versus non-educated, the divide of the so-called caste system that had become highly polluted. And so to break all of those divides and to unite everyone under the umbrella of chanting God's holy names. Because to call out to God is the innate right and the primal duty of every living being. What to speak of human beings, every living being. And his movement, we should say movement, was to bring about that. So he was a very successful Renaissance personality, incarnation of Krishna. He had predicted as well, very prophetically, that all over the world, people of all races, people of all regions, people of all qualifications or disqualifications, of all castes and creed, regardless, will unite to chant God's names together. Which naturally meant that among his retinue were people of all classes. I'm going to share a few examples. The first is this personality who's kneeling in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was, at that time, the single most revered scholar in all of Greater India. At that time, what we call as India, or what we know as India, was not just the India that we know. It was all of Pakistan, even Afghanistan, all of Bangladesh, all of Nepal, Burma. It was a whole large region. And this entire region, only Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was the single scholar that everyone bowed down to. And he was a follower of Lord Chaitanya. So in terms of erudition, he's top class. Another is Rupa and Sanatan. These two brothers were the finance minister and home minister under a Mughal king. And they were so successful, it is said that each of them, their annual income was 2 million gold coins a year. By the time Rupa Goswami had retired from active duty, we call it voluntary retirement, his entire gold savings filled a large boat. It's not paper money or plastic money or digital money. It was real gold. And he was part of Lord Chaitanya's retinue. Highly financially successful, scholarly of course, but very highly positioned. And on the other extreme is Kolavecha Sridhar. The word Kolavecha means person who sells banana leaf products. And his name was Sridhar. So just as, we have such and such with a title. So his title was He Who Sells Banana Leaf Products. And his income per day was, it is said, about 10 paise. So if $1 is 66 rupees and 100 paise make $1, 10 paise, you do the math. He was so poor. It is said that his dhoti, his cloth, had so many holes in it that there were more holes and less dhoti. His roof had so many holes that there was hardly any thatch, mostly holes. And even if he earned 10 paise a day, 5 paise was given up in charity. He would give it away for the worship of the river Ganges. And of the 5 paise that he earned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would meet him every day and haggle for that price. If you met Indian people or if you ever gone to India, whatever price you're told, you never buy it at that price. Even if it's very cheap or inexpensive, and if you pay full price, among your friends, you're considered little cuckoo. Like, what? You paid full price for that? You're supposed to haggle. My mother was excellent at it. Whatever price was told, she would start at less than half. And then slowly they would negotiate, and they would end up somewhere. She would come back home happy, and the fellow would be totally miserable because he had to sell it to my mother. But you have to haggle. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also haggled with Sridhar, just to bring out in him, for us to see that extreme detachment that Sridhar had. So, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had such amazing followers, our Srila Prabhupada, following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also had such very amazing followers who ranged from this end to that end, from this end of the continuum to that end. And so on that very opulent, rich, high-class side is Srinathji. His father was among the top few richest men in India when Prabhupada met them, in Bombay or Mumbai as they call it. And interestingly, I'll tell you about the phenomenon, was that Srinathji Prabhu's parents, both mother and father, were very attracted to Srila Prabhupada because they understood what Prabhupada was doing. He was taking the very esoteric, at the same time, very highly advanced Vedic knowledge out to the Western world, which was never done before. And that he was doing it after the age of 70, traveling around the world 14 times within a span of 10 years, is something that is unimaginable and humanly not so easy, rather even impossible. So they understood what Prabhupada was doing and they wanted to support. And they had a son who did not like that his parents were supporting Prabhupada. He thought that this Swamiji was taking advantage of his gullible parents. Now the stark difference is, out in the West, when Srila Prabhupada was here and traveling, all the young persons from the ages of 18 through 25 were just following Prabhupada by the tens and hundreds each day. And all of the parents of these young people were becoming very uncomfortable. And so there is a history, this for some other day, that they had hired deprogrammers because they thought Swamiji was brainwashing them. So one of them even said to Prabhupada, "Prabhupada, our parents think that you're brainwashing us." And Prabhupada said, "Yes, your brains are so dirty, I have to wash them." A sort of tongue-in-cheek way. And so all the parents in America and in Europe were feeling very anxious that Srila Prabhupada was really making sense to these young people who, on the other hand, were highly disillusioned by government, by any sense of authority. So the stark opposite is, here's a young man who didn't want his parents to follow Prabhupada. And so he would tell them, please don't give any money to this Swamiji. At that time, this young person, Srinathji, he was also a seeker because in India, his family is from a very religious family. So he wanted to test Srila Prabhupada. So it's described in his own words that from 1971 to 1977, it's almost a span of 8 years, he tested Prabhupada. He would test him in different ways. He said, there's a video of him, if you ever get a chance to see a video called Your Ever Well-Wisher. In that, Srinathji Prabhu is interviewed, and he will tell us in the video, or he says in the video, I tested Swamiji. I wanted to see if, as a businessman, we're always looking for the weakness in our opponent. And we try to, hit them where they're weak. He said, I've tried to find out if Swamiji is weak in the area of money. Is he greedy for money? So I tested him. And for 8 years, he never demonstrated even once that Prabhupada was greedy about money. He said, I tested him if he was lusty for women. I tested him in different ways, and I didn't find anything like that in him. But then his philosophy is something that I had objected to. So Srinathji Prabhu was a follower of what we call Advaita philosophy. Advaita means in English we call it monism. Shankaracharya is monism. Monism is out there. There is no second reality. Everything is one, and that one is called Brahman. There is no variety. There's no distinction in spiritual or existentially. We're all one. And there's no second thing. I exist, and that's it. And Prabhupada's and Vaishnava teachings is there's always two, Krishna and Krishnas. that which belongs to Krishna. Krishna and Krishna's energies. This is the philosophy of Dvaita. And the Advaitas and the Dvaitas, since time immemorial, have had arguments, and one trying to convince the other. So he tested Prabhupada philosophically in many, many ways. And one of the things he would say, Swamiji, isn't it true that after all everything is one? And Prabhupada would say, how can everything be one? If you're fully realized, that was their argument, that when you're fully realized, self-realized, you become God. Your sense of cognition and awareness expands ad infinitum. And so Prabhupada challenged him, do you know my pains and pleasures? Or he was saying that he had a guru. Ask your guru, does he feel my pains and pleasures? Does he feel the pain and pleasures of everyone else around? Can he tell what are my thoughts? So Srinathji Prabhu was like a little messenger between these two spiritualists. He would come to Prabhupada. Prabhupada would challenge him with all these questions. He would go back to his Advaita guru and ask him, and the guru didn't have proper answers, and he said, no, I'm not a mind reader. No, this is not about mind reading. And then he would give him some answer. He would come back to Prabhupada. Prabhupada would again give him a new challenge, and he would go back and forth, back and forth. This went on for many years. And still he was, Srinathji Prabhu was not ready to give up the idea that, I should dedicate my life to Srila Prabhupada, because he was still doubtful. And so what happened is, by the time 1977 came, Srila Prabhupada left this world in November of 1977, and this was in September. Finally, it dawned on Srinath Prabhu that he needs to do something with his life. This happened when he received a phone call one day in the dead of night. And the phone call said, come immediately, Srila Prabhupada wants to see you. So he went as fast as he could. And Prabhupada said to him, or the devotees who were around Prabhupada said, Prabhupada is very, very sick. He wants to leave this world. And so for him it was a shock. How does someone say, I want to leave this world? In fact, everyone says, I don't want to leave this world. So what are we going to do? He said, Prabhupada wants to travel from Bombay to Vrindavan, which is about 3 hours from Delhi. He wants to make this train ride, and Prabhupada wants you to drive his car. So at that point, he realized, okay, I'm going to drive this car. He had a nice car because he was rich. He had a nice car. And they organized, he called his wife and said, get the car ready. So they put out a nice silk bed sheet in the back of the car. Tamal Krishna Goswami sat right next to Srinathji Prabhu. And some of the devotees got into the car. Prabhupada was lying on the back seat. And so Srinathji Prabhu was driving the car. Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who was Prabhupada's right-hand man, told Srinathji, don't drive fast. The roads in Bombay are very, very bad. Don't drive fast, drive slow. Okay. Prabhupada's servant who was in the back tapped Srinathji on the shoulder and said, Prabhupada wants you to drive fast. I said, all right. So he hit the gas pedal. Tamal Krishna Maharaj turned to Srinathji and said, I told you don't drive fast. Can't you understand? If there are potholes, Prabhupada's body is very frail, and it'll bother him. Drive slow. So he hit the brakes. A minute or two later, the servant tapped him on his shoulder. Prabhupada says, drive fast. So finally, Srinathji Prabhu told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Prabhupada says, drive fast. I'm going to drive fast. You sort it out with Prabhupada. So the train was supposed to leave at 11 o'clock from Bombay Central Station to go to Delhi. And they came to the train station. Srinathji Prabhu got off the car, ran to the station master and told him, I just want to make sure such and such train, it was called the Mathura Express, is leaving at 11 o'clock. So we just want to make sure. They were at the train station at 10:15. And the station master said, "Did you not hear the announcements yesterday? It was on TV. The train is now scheduled to leave at 10:30. They changed the timings. 10:30. And Srinathji said, "You cannot leave at 10:30. There's a very special holy man, and he has to get on this train. Stop the train if you want. I'll give you as much money as you want. Stop the train." And the station master said, "In my entire career, I've never heard anyone tell me, 'Stop the train, we'll pay you for it.'" He said, "I'm sorry, I cannot stop the train." So in this 15 minutes, somehow or the other, they managed to get Prabhupada into his compartment. There were other details of the story. They were supposed to get an air-conditioned compartment, but someone, I guess, wrongly booked him in a non-air-conditioned compartment. And so Srinathji was there in the last minute. And in all of this busy helter-skelter running, everything is highly tense. Everyone's like very, I guess, nervous about Prabhupada leaving. This last minute, the train's about to leave. The train's horn is blowing, ready to go. And Prabhupada, in this frail condition, somehow raises on his elbow, calls Srinathji Prabhu close to him and says, "Thank you very much for driving me." And it is at that moment Srinathji Prabhu realized, this is no ordinary soul. That in the middle of all that is happening, he remembered to thank me for something that's so, what I've done is very insignificant, that he remembered me, that he was so sensitive to thank me. This person is very special. At that moment, he wanted to touch Prabhupada's feet. Everyone said, "No touching Prabhupada's feet." He said, "I don't care." He jumped up, held Prabhupada's feet and said, "Prabhupada, now I want to surrender unto you. Please accept me as your disciple." That's when the train was about to leave, just beginning to pull off the station. And everyone told him, "Get out. Go, this is the time, otherwise, there's no other station." So he jumped off that running train, and that was the last he saw Srila Prabhupada. Although that was the last he saw, so from 1977 to almost 2017, he dedicated his life for serving Srila Prabhupada. Now that is the impact Prabhupada has on his followers. And that's how his followers were. There's something about Prabhupada that connected with them so wonderfully, both at the spiritual level and at the human level. So when he came back to his car, he saw on his steering wheel, the garland that Prabhupada was wearing was on the steering wheel. Prabhupada had remembered to give him a little token that he remembered and was appreciative of his service. Now that inspiration Srinathji Prabhu took, and until recently, till he left his body, just dedicated himself to supporting and expanding Krishna consciousness in this world. Now, he did his bachelor's in the University of London, and then did his master's and PhD from University of Pennsylvania. So, highly accomplished. He was the CEO and founder of Apar Industries, a group of industries, highly successful. And partly, he would employ all the devotees so that they're in an environment where it is not exploitative. Holidays would be all the Vaishnava holidays, because he was such a supporter of Vaishnavism. There's a photo of he and his two sons, and they've taken on the legacy from him. And so, although he was, as I said previously, very successful materially, he was very successful spiritually. His belief and confidence in the Bhagavad Gita was such that he would live it every day. It was described that once his union had gone on strike, and the union leader called for strike because the union leader wanted a little, I guess, fame. He wanted to become popular. He was playing a political game. So when there were all these workers were on strike outside the company's gate, Srinathji Prabhu took the Bhagavad Gita from his shelf and walked straight up to the union leader and told him, you're unnecessarily agitating everyone. Take the Bhagavad Gita, just read it carefully, and we'll talk later. So the union leader said, no, you're being the typical rich person, you're exploiting all the workers. I have a problem against you as the owner. He said, if you have a problem with the owner, then you need to come to the temple and speak to the owner, because he is the owner. I'm just the caretaker. So you're welcome to come and complain to the real owner. That was his heart. He's not the owner sitting in the CEO's office and thinking, I'm the owner. He knew very clearly, Krishna is the owner. I'm just a person signing the checks on Krishna's behalf. Everything here belongs to Krishna. But he said it with such conviction, because it was his conviction, that the union leader had a little change of heart. Whoa. And during the days of strike, this person started reading the Bhagavad Gita every day. And he would come back and they would have discussions on the Bhagavad Gita. While they were actually opposing each other, they were having discussions on Bhagavad Gita. The person was trying to learn what the Bhagavad Gita says. And after a few days, they called off the strike. And his conviction was that even that happened because of the Bhagavad Gita. So his contribution was in continuing Prabhupada's legacy in Mumbai. So he was very close and involved in the construction of the Juhu temple, and later in the founding and the running, and until date, the success of the Chowpatty temple in Mumbai. A very active member and leader within that community. So in that sense, we're very fortunate that here's a person who's left for us a shining example of how to not let the wealth get to our head, if we get the wealth in the first place. Or perhaps when, but if is more likely. If one is successful like he is, how to not let it get to the head is something that's a very fascinating example and inspiring example for many of us who have jobs, businesses, families, responsibilities, etc. Now, Balram Prabhu is sitting here because he knew him a little bit more personally. I only met him once last year in October when I was at the GBC College for leadership. I went for a one-year training there, and he was one of the founding persons of that GBC College. He funded the entire college, or he funded a major part of that college from his own finances. And so I was very fortunate to meet him. We had lunch together for a few minutes. And for me, meeting him, although I had met him in person last year, I saw him 16 years ago when I'd first come to the Hare Krishna temple. And one night, my wife and I sat to watch this video, Your Ever Well Wisher. It's Prabhupada's biography. And there are a few incidences in that video that were very moving for me. And one of the things that were very moving was Srinathji Prabhu's interview. So he is one person that I've always held at high esteem and in regard. Hearing about his loss, I thought it was a great opportunity. With discussing with Yashodanandan, there would be a fantastic opportunity to appreciate such a great person, so that Prabhupada is pleased and Krishna is pleased that we're discussing his devotee. So Balram Prabhu is going to speak to us for about 10-15 minutes. Sorry, I lost track of time. On Srinathji Prabhu's life. Now, generally, we have a tendency that at 6:30, when the curtains close, we sort of have a what we call a reflex response to get up and go up for dinner. Please don't leave. We're not done yet. After Balram Prabhu finishes in about 15-20 minutes, I have a 5-minute video for you. I'm looking for Brian Dahl. Is he here? Brian, are you here? Okay. I'll introduce you. Brian has done something for us, and I want to speak about him as an appreciation as well. So after Balram Prabhu is done, please don't leave till you see a special video. Okay? Thank you. Sorry.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, he says, Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat evetaro jana sayat pramana kurtate loka tad anuvartate. This verse is very, very important in the sense Krishna explains here that there are leaders who are like the examples whom we follow. This tendency to follow somebody, it is so innate within us. And we look upon good examples, we look upon character, we look upon good qualities to imbibe. Now, some of us who are here, who are practicing spirituality, we hear about the great souls, we hear about the great achievements devotees have done, great people have done. And when we hear that, sometimes it seems fantasy. So how is this possible? Sometimes we even say, oh, this is possible because that person was such a great soul. He had that potency, that capacity to do things. And we crave for real life examples. We crave for somebody whom we can see living some principles, living a life of character and quality. So His Grace Srinathji Prabhu was such a person. This morning, actually it is in India time, it was evening, there was a 5-hour memorial session to honor Srinathji Prabhu's dedication to Srila Prabhupada's society. And it was really heart-rendering to hear everybody, so many devotees' life that this one soul could touch. And what was most interesting to me is that, and this is common, right? I mean, when somebody leaves, that's when we really go out of the way to appreciate that person. But when that person is living with us, we at times don't have so much of appreciation. He's just like a member, just comes and goes. So there are so many wonderful things that were shared, which I will share briefly this evening. Some of his qualities, as His Grace Nityananda Prabhu mentioned, how he was a devotee of Krishna. His family is coming from that lineage, they're from Gujarat, so they have natural affinity or attraction towards Krishna. But because he was very intelligent, a person of high caliber, he would not just take things on a face value. And that was one of the things that he went back and forth with Srila Prabhupada. Because everything that Srila Prabhupada was doing, he could see. Because, coming from India, this is a common thing. If you're a rich man, if somebody is approaching you, there's only one reason why he or she is approaching you. It's for your money. So here is Srila Prabhupada with his followers. There was over 20 Western disciples. They landed in his house one day. And they did a program. And here he comes. And he sees this in his outside. He had a huge house. And there was a garden behind. And he's seeing all these Westerners jumping and dancing and chanting the Krishna's holy names. And their Prabhupada sitting there. And he was so bewildered. He said, what would neighbors think? But then, to Nityananda Prabhu's point, how Prabhupada very lovingly at the same time, very strongly dealt with him. And that was Prabhupada's unique quality. And he was lion in his demeanor, but in the heart he was so soft. and he could touch anybody. So that whole final episode of how Prabhupada departed, because it's very interesting, Prabhupada said, Vrindavan is his home, and Mayapur is his place of worship, and Bombay, or today Mumbai, is his office. So you could see how special this whole arrangement that Krishna made for him, that he is driving Srila Prabhupada from his office to home. It's so personal and it's so sweet. So it was Krishna's inconceivable arrangement. And all along in fact he shares that he was only arguing with Prabhupada. All the time he met Prabhupada, he was only arguing. He could have gotten out so much from Srila Prabhupada. But that's how somehow Krishna arranges. The last minute, that departure melted his heart. And he surrendered his life at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Devotees were sharing so many wonderful qualities about him. There were two things that really caught my attention. His conviction in Srila Prabhupada's books. As Prabhuji was just sharing, whomever you met, he used to meet, he used to always talk about two things. Chant Krishna's holy names and read Srila Prabhupada's books, especially Bhagavad Gita. He used to always carry Bhagavad Gita with him, no matter where he goes. And any opportunity he gets, he used to speak about Bhagavad Gita, teachings of Lord Shri Krishna. And in his lectures, if you have heard his lectures, in fact, few years ago, when I met him in New York Rath Yatra, he has written some books. This is a very 15-20 pages book on Kali Santana Upanishad. So there are 3 or 4 such books. I don't know if it is available in print, but he had about 200-300 copies that he had brought here and he was giving it to some devotees. So I remember reading that book, and this is his understanding of studying this Upanishad. And there was, every page talked about, it was interesting, every page he was talking about Srila Prabhupada. Said this about chanting, and it was very interesting. He was very, very instrumental, those of us who are from here, from Russian congregation, he was very instrumental in setting up the whole preaching foundation in Russia. He was instrumental in publishing the first Bhagavad Gita as it is in Russian language. He contributed a lot. There is a very interesting story which is very interesting, and you will find out why. One day he was in Chennai and he landed in the temple. He had some meetings. He landed at the temple in suit and tie. So he had the Shringar Darshan, and the temple president there requested him to give a class, Srimad Bhagavatam class. This story is narrated by Rasaraj Prabhu. I don't know if you know him. He's a Prabhupada disciple who manages the Bhaktivedanta Institute. And he was there. He had just come from Detroit and he spent 2 days and he's attending the morning program, and suddenly he sees on the Vyasas and here's a person in suit and tie. It has never happened before. Usually you are in devotional clothes. So he's there, but he's boldly preaching. He's talking about the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, talking about Srila Prabhupada's teachings. And after the lecture was over, he approached the temple president. He said, "Here, I have a small gift for you." And the gift was Bhagavad Gita as it is in Russian language. It was a pocket-sized Bhagavad Gita. Here's a gift. And he handed that gift to the temple president, and then he left, he departed. So just that evening, there was because there was so much happening in Russia that time, so there was some kind of a petition, because they were harassing devotees and other things. So the devotees had gathered, they written a petition about, that this atrocity should stop. So they were all going to march or go, a lot of devotees, to the Consulate General in Chennai, the Russian Consulate General. So Rasaraj Prabhu was there, and in fact he said, since you are coming from the West, it's better you meet the Consulate General. So he said, fine. And as soon as they reached the gates of the consulate, the gates was closed because they found out that these devotees are going to come and they're going to create some Basically, they're going to chant. That's all we do. Our creating of problem definition means we chant. And people do get disturbed by that sometimes. But that's a nice way to get disturbed, to hear the holy name. So the devotees reached there, and so this temple president, he said, you know what, just in case, take this Bhagavad Gita with you. And he became a little afraid. He said, you know, if they see me in Bhagavad Gita, and who knows what they will do. But see, that's the beauty of Srila Prabhupada, that a devotee does not leave any opportunity for not to preach. So take this book with you. So he took the book, he put it in his kurta somewhere, and the gates opened. So one person from the Consulate General took him to meet the Consulate General. So he was seated on a sofa in the Consulate Hall, and then this very, not elderly, but a person of a tall person with a strong body build, he approached him. He said, I am the Consulate General, please follow me. So he went through the maze. It was like a maze, he describes, that he was going left, right, and he's like, what is this? Is this like a Consulate General or some kind of a prison house? So finally he approached, they reached the office, and he made him sit down. And as soon as he sat, the Consulate General said, I know why you are here. Read out that petition to me. So Raj Prabhu read the petition, explaining the details. And the Consulate General said, I can assure you that this petition is not going to do any good. But still, since you have come here, I'm going to pass on this petition to the Russian government so they can do something about you people. And when the conversation was over, Raj was about to get up and leave. But then he said, stop. He said, I want to share something with you. He said, today is my last day of being a Consulate General. And tonight I have a flight and I'm flying back to Russia. But I want to share something with you. I always wanted Bhagavad Gita as it is. And somehow or the other, because the KGBs are always around me, I could not approach any devotee. So last night, so last night, I was praying to God. Before I went to bed, I was praying to God that, my dear Lord, please, I want to get hold of this Bhagavad Gita as it is. He's a Russian fellow. I mean, he has no idea. You know, he had somehow heard it, but somehow he had developed this attraction. I want Bhagavad Gita as it is. He kept praying. Do you have Bhagavad Gita as it is? That's the first thing he said to Raj Prabhu. And Raj Prabhu was like totally puzzled. He said, is this a setup? You know, because he's in an unknown area. So he was very careful. He said, like, what do I do here now? But somehow, you know, when you meet people, you can tell how genuine. So he felt this person was genuine. So he took out this Bhagavad Gita as it is. The pocket says Bhagavad Gita, handed out to him. And this Consulate General was so happy. He just jumped from his seat and he started shaking his hand, and he was almost about to dislocate his shoulder. He was so happy, he lifted him up. And he said something that really touched Rasaraj Prabhu. He said, I knew that God would not let me down. And then while he was walking out, Rasaraj was recollecting that this morning, here's a gentleman in suit and tie giving a Bhagavatam class. And then how this was the first copy that he had published, that he had gifted it to the temple president. So how this person was so instrumental in getting this Bhagavad Gita to this person. Now we don't know what happened to him. He's probably become a devotee and gone back. We don't know. But how Srinathji Prabhu became an instrument in getting that mercy across. So likewise, there are so many stories, we don't have time, about his life. One thing you constantly hear, because he was a very wealthy person, very charitable. In fact, this morning, His Holiness Radhanath Swami was saying that every molecule on atom of Radha Gopinath temple, he said, I could see Srinathji Prabhu. Which is not a small thing to say. That means everything the foundation of that temple, the foundation of setting up the whole congregation, he was one of the founding person. Very, very instrumental. Devotees were sharing about his charity. Anytime there was any help needed, he was there to help. Especially the early devotees. His house was like a temple. Anybody could go anytime to their house. They had a huge temple room in the house. They could approach, they could attend Mangalarti in his house. Do so many things. One of the other quality that really attracted was that he was very punctual. And in fact, one devotee was sharing that in Bombay or in Mumbai, to get from point A to point B, it's not easy because there's a lot of traffic. And in spite of that, any meetings that he had to go or meet devotees, he was on time. How he did it, we don't know, but he was very, very punctual. In fact, you should tell devotees that if you're a devotee of Krishna, you have to learn to respect time. And he says, time is Krishna. So you can't mess around with time. Every minute that we have is valuable. It has to be utilized in Krishna's service. This aspect of chanting, wherever he went, whomever he met, he used to talk about chanting. He had so much faith in the holy name. In fact, just before he passed away, devotees were sharing that he was living on, he only had 25% of heart, whatever that capacity is required. So he knew that very soon he was going to pass away. Right? But in spite of having so many qualities, so many wonderful credentials to oneself, he was not a person who would brag about it. He was not a person who would want something in return for it. He was always very humble. He was always very charitable. Always very bold. In fact, there were about 20 to 22 cases, court cases against our ISKCON temple of Shri Radha Gopinath because of various reasons. And there are so many negative aspects about the case that we were going to lose it. But he used to go to the court and all the 22 cases we won. The devotees are describing that he was like a lion. He was like a lion. Wherever he went with this one focus that I'm going to win. And as Prabhuji was saying that his whole thing was, I'm doing this for the Lord. It's not mine, it is Krishna's. So these examples are so important for us because we crave for it. When we look upon these examples, we can tell that what Krishna is talking about in Bhagavad Gita, what Prabhupada has taught us, it's for real. And if we can associate with such people, somehow if these qualities rub upon us, our life will become perfect. This is the holy month of Kartik. To get an opportunity to glorify such a Vaishnava is not an ordinary thing. And for us to hear the glories of a Vaishnava. Because that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhu was explaining, the Mahaprabhu came to give us the holy name. He came to give us this knowledge about the spiritual world. He came here to give us knowledge about God. But most important, he came us to give the association of devotees of Krishna. And that's what Srila Prabhupada did. Srila Prabhupada set up this institution on this founding principle that he created devotees so you and I can associate and transform our life. When we see such great souls like Srinathji Prabhu, we know what to aspire for. If you have it, it's good, pass it along. If you don't have it, you know what is lacking and we can work on it. So there are so many things. And especially this month is very, very important because for us, this is the month where we can make maximum spiritual advancement. And there is no other way we can make spiritual advancement but to hear the glories about the great souls. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains when we hear the great qualities of the great souls, it's like nectar entering our consciousness through the years. So I'm grateful to His Grace Nityananda Pran Prabhu. In fact, I texted him yesterday because when he told me that he was doing this, I was so happy. Not because I had some connection with Srinathji Prabhu, but just the fact that we are getting an opportunity, and that's what he told me this afternoon. He said, I am happy that I'm getting to glorify a devotee. This is a very rare quality. Because in material world, we want glories for ourselves. We don't want to glorify others. But the way we make spiritual advancement is when we glorify a genuine, sincere devotee of the Lord. And this evening we had that opportunity by Prabhu's mercy. I got an opportunity to speak, and you all got an opportunity to hear. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
All of you have been extremely patient, so I really appreciate it. So I will not hold you here too long. Quickly, next Sunday is one of our largest festivals called Diwali, Festival of Lights, and also Govardhan Puja. It's the day Lord Krishna, as a 7-year-old, lifted a mountain on his left hand pinky for 7 days. So as fascinating as it is to hear it, is even more fascinating to hear how and why all this happened. So usually what happens is devotees, they bring home-cooked offerings for Govardhan. So if you would like to, you're more than welcome. Here are a few things to remember. First, take a nice shower, put on clean clothes, and cook for Krishna. And cook in ghee, clarified butter. And outside in the lobby, there are these devotees with small aluminum trays. You can take those trays and put what you cook in that and bring it here, and we'll offer it to Govardhan. So if you're going to cook and bring, please bring by 5 p.m. next Sunday and give it to Prabala Madhuri. She's sitting in the lobby, and she'll be the one giving you those aluminum trays. Also, if you'd like to sponsor any aspect of the festival, she has more information. She's more than happy to get to know if any of you would like to volunteer some time, help set up the festival, or after the festival is over, help clean up and get things back in order. For the festival next Sunday, we have a special parking. The parking will be at the Eugene Field School, a block away on Greenleaf Avenue in Ashland. It has a large car capacity. Please park there. Do not park in the alley, as we're very used to, because it's quick to get in. If we block the alley, and your car will very likely be towed, and at that time praying to Krishna is a little sort of afterthought. So, okay, finally, Brian, could you stand up, please? Here's a wonderful devotee, Brian Dahl, who is pursuing his PhD at Roosevelt University. Master's, wanting to go to PhD. Come here so everyone can see you. And I met Brian a couple of weeks back. I just was interested because he's in the field of movies and musicology, and I never heard someone studying musicology beyond, playing in a band. So I was very fascinated. And one of the things he's done is taken some videos, and he's working on it. So I put him on a deadline. That's what I do as a president of the temple. I put people on deadline. I gave him a very short deadline saying, I'm speaking on the 23rd. I'd like a little video to show everyone. So poor guy, in the middle of all of his studies and assignments and whatever else he has to do, did something and put something together that I'd like to show you. This is it is just the first cut. I'm sure there's more to develop. Recently we did the Festival of Chariots. It's our 50th anniversary celebration. So he took a little montage and put together for the 50th anniversary. So this is just version 1. Poor guy. We'll give him more time, but we'll have more versions. But I wanted to show you. And if you like it, please congratulate and thank Brian for putting all of us on TV. All right? Thank you, Brian. So is the audio working? Okay. Full screen. Let's see.
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Brian. This is Brian Dahl. Thank you for doing this. And Brian's going to be working on more videos, so we'll keep you posted as he gets them ready and shows it to us. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right, now you're ready for dinner. Thank you. So dinner's on upstairs, the third floor. Please, we'll see you back soon for the main kirtan. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Somebody forgot their phone. It's a nice iPhone. Thank you for the donation. Here's an iPhone. If it is yours, please come and collect it. I have 20 questions to make sure it's you. Is it yours? How do you know? Is this yours? Thank you very much.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Gauravani Pracharine Shesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
6:30. On the weekdays, right? No. On weekdays it's 6:30. On Sunday it's 7:30. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hey, can I have the block? The block. Whoa, I have the all stars.
Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Namah Mishwaram Sachid Anandarupan Lasakundalango Kulebrajamanam Namamishwaran Sachid Anandarupan Lasakundalango Kulebrajamanam Namamishwaran Sachit Anandarupan Lasakundalango Kulebrajamanam Jashoda Vijolukala Davamanam Paramrishtanathyanta Todutriya Gopya Jashoda Vijolukalat Navamanam Paramrishtanathyanta Todrutya Gopya Om Namamishwaran Sachiranandarupan Lasakundalango Kulebrajamanam Rudantamuhurnetra Jugmamrijantan Karamboja Jugmena Shatankanetram Rudhantamuhurnetra Jugmamrijantan Karambhoja Jugmena Shatankanetram Muhushwashakampa tirekanka kanta Stitagraiva damodaram bhakti badam Muhushwashakampa tirekanka kanta Stitagraiva damodaram bhakti bhadam Namamishwaram Sachiranandarupan Lasakundalango Kulebrajamanam ইতি দৃক্ষ্বালীলাবির আনন্দ কুন্দে স্বগোশনি মা জন্তান আখিয়া ভজন্তাম ইতি দৃক্ষ্বালীলাবির আনন্দ কুন্দে স্বগোশনি মা জন্তান আখিয়া ভজন্তাম তাদি জশিতা গেশ্বর বাটার জিতাত্বান পুনা প্রেমতাস্তন সাব্রেতি বান্দে তাদি জশিতা গেশ্বর বাটার জিতাত্বান পুনা প্রেমতাস্তন সাব্রেতি বান্দে ও নমামীশ্বরং সচিত আনন্দরূপান লসকুন্দলাঙ্গো কুলে ব্রজমানান ভরন দেব মোক্ষং না মোক্ষম বধিম্বা নচ্ছন্যবৃণেহং বারে সদাপেহা ভরন দেব মোক্ষং না মোক্ষম বধিম্বা নচ্ছন্যবৃণেহং বারে সদাপেহা হৃদন্তে বাপূর্ণতা গোপালভালম সদা মে মানসিয়া বিরাস্তম কিনান্যায় হৃদন্তে বাপূর্ণতা গোপালভালম সদা মে মানসিয়া বিরাস্তম কিনান্যায় নমামীশ্বরং সচিদানন্দরূপং লসকুন্দলঙ্গো কুলে ব্রজমানাম ইদন্তে মুখম ভোজন হাত্যন্তনীলায় বৃথং কুণ্ঠলায় স্নিগ্ধরাতশ্চ গোপ্যা ইদন্তে মুখম ভোজনাত্যন্তনীলায় বৃথং কুণ্ঠলায় স্নিগ্ধরাতশ্চ গোপ্যা मोहचुम्बितां बिम्बा राक्तधरां मे हलस्य विरास्तां मलं लक्षलाभय मनस्य विरास्तां मोहचुम्बितां बिम्बा राक्तधरां मे मनस्य विरास्तां मलं लक्षलाभय ॐ नमो देवारामोदा नजकुन्दलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसकुन्दलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् नमो देवदामोदरानन्ता विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखा जाग्लभिमग्नम् नमो देवदामोदरानन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखा जाग्लभिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादितीनां बथानु गृहाने समानाज्ञा हेद्यक्षिदृक्षा कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादितीनां बथानु गृहाने समानाज्ञा हेद्यक्षिदृक्षा नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसकुन्दलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् कुबेरमजो बधा मूर्त्यैव जाद्वद् ध्वजमुचिताओ भक्ति बाजौ कृतौ च कुबेरमजो बधा मूर्त्यैव जाद्वद् ध्वजमुचिताओ भक्ति बाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेमतास्तं सतवृत्ति वन्दे मोक्षग्रह नमः तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वाखं मे प्रजा च न मोक्षग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वाखं मे प्रजा च न मोक्षग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे हा नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसकुन्दलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् Namaste studamne spuradipti damne Twadijodharajata Vishwashadhamne Namaste studamne spuradipti damne Twadijodharajata Vishwashadhamne Namo Radhika Jai Twadi Jai Prija Jai Namo Nanta Leela Ja Deva Jatubhyam Namo Radhika Jai Twadi Jai Prija Jai Namo Nanta Leela Ja Deva Jatubhyam Namo Radhika Jai Twadi Jai Prija Jai 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 Namo Nanta Leela Ja Deva Jatubhyam Oh, Radhe Radhe Namo Radhika Jai Twadi Jai Prija Jai Namo Nanta Leela Ja Deva Jatubhyam Gauranga Oh Namami Swaran Sachiranandaropan Lasa Kundalango Kule Brajamanam Namamishwaran Sachiranandaropan Lasa Kundalango Kule Brajamanam Jasoda Brijolo Kaladavamanam Paramrisanati Antato Drutya Gopya Jashoda Bijolo Kaladavamanam Paramrisanati Antato Drutya Gopya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.